All right, for Mr. Floyd, once your court date is set, you will have to, you must appear at the right place at the right time. These are serious charges. They're going to General Sessions Court. If you fail to appear once your court date is set, I'll give this to you for information, but for a if the penalty, if the penalty is a misdemeanor, that could cost you a year in jail and $1,000 fine. For a felony, which is what you're charged with, it's 5 years and $5,000. That's just for not showing up to that circuit court judge. It's your responsibility to make sure the clerk of court's office knows if there's any change of address or phone number change. All right. You have the right, with this being general session charges, you have the right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is held to see if there's enough probable cause to carry you on to trial as you've been charged. At this hearing, you or your attorney, you can't call witnesses or present evidence. All you can do is cross-examine any witness that the state provides. Yes, so you have 10 days to from today, from your arraignment, yes, to request a preliminary hearing. You will have another document advising you of that fact when we get you to sign the court documentation. This is not mandatory. If you don't do it within the 10 days, you forfeit your right to have a preliminary hearing. Okay, let's talk about your initial appearance. First time you appear before the General Sessions Court. This is more of an administrative thing than anything else. Scheduling session. If you have an attorney that day, you will probably just sign in and sign out. If you do not, you stay until the court releases you. It would behoove you, especially in the serious circumstances that you're in, to go ahead and arrange an attorney search. And of course, if you fail to appear, this is mandatory appearance, and if you fail to appear, you'll be brought back on a General Sessions bench warrant and held until such time as you go back before the circuit court. If any of the charges brought against you are dismissed, or if you're found not guilty, you have the right to have those charges expunged. You will need to petition the clerk of court and pay a fee to have it done. Expungement simply does away with any record of the arrest. If you were to receive bond today, everybody that goes through this process, if you're arrested again for any reason, your bond will more than likely be revoked if you come back. We admonish everyone or tell you to be a good citizen while you're out. But I don't know how much that some of this applies, but you're going to hear it anyway. Anything you say in this arraignment can be held against you. So I am, if I stop you, I won't allow you to incriminate yourself. I'm not being rude to you, but I don't want to hear anything about the incident that brought you here today. Okay, and as far as the public defender, I'll explain that to you anyway. You must be declared indigent to take advantage of that. You can't make over $245 a week. You can't own a home, land, business, or have a significant amount of money in the bank. So we've already talked about a lawyer. I think you've indicated you're going to get a private attorney. All right, sir. If There are three things I want you to understand. If you forget everything else, you have the right to an attorney. You have the right to a trial by jury. I don't know that I mentioned that. I think I ran by that. But please remember that the Constitution guarantees you the right to a trial by jury. And there are 2 dates where you must appear. You must appear at your initial appearance, and of course, once your court date is set, you must be there. If you have any questions about what we've discussed, I will address it. All right, Mr. Floyd, you are charged, sir, with felony DUI. Maximum penalty for that is 25 years in prison and a $25,100 fine. Before we go any further, I want to do the paperwork. We have a system, and I don't know that it's going to apply to you here again, but there's a document there. We will remind you of your court date, either by a text message or by email. Do you wish to take advantage of that?
Sir. Yes, sir.
You give the deputy a good phone number if you can take a text message.
Jamells Floyd 16@gmail.com.
No, that's your copy. You'll sign this and this. 11:30.
Okay, Ms. Floyd, next you have an information sheet you were given while you were out in the pit. Information regarding your rights. It's basically a regurgitation of what I told you a few minutes ago. Do you understand the information on that sheet? Have you read it?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, if you would please sign the court copy indicating such, sir. Ms. Floyd, do you understand what my explanation of a preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, if you do, I want you to sign your written notice of your right to have one. And the first thing you do is give that to your attorney. You can fill it out and give it back to us if you wish. Oftentimes they want to control that. So make sure that that's one of the first things you do.
Yes, sir.
Need for you to sign it in the court's presence. Okay, next you have a notice of your initial appearance. It's January the 14th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You must appear at 180 Magnolia Street up on the 2nd floor in the General Sessions Court area. Again, this is the initial appearance. It is mandatory, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, there's a list of your rights that I have explained. I need for you to initial where highlighted on that form. The first area you will recall, number 2 is what happens if you don't show up for court, sir. The next area, number 3, it says that you have been informed of your right to a preliminary hearing, both orally and in writing. Your right to a jury trial is next. I have told you the charges against you and your right to counsel. That is the last one on that page, and then turn it over. I need for you to sign on the back. The last 2 items are your right to have the charges expunged if not guilty, and also you must keep the court notified of your whereabouts and good contact information. Mr. Floyd, do you understand your rights, sir?
I do.
You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Mr. Barnett, does the solicitor have anything to offer?
Yes, sir. May it please the court. Just give you the facts, Your Honor. I wanted to show you a couple of pictures. I know the victim's family wants to speak to you also, and Trooper Batson's there for the Highway Patrol. He's actually in the courtroom, Your Honor. This occurred back on November 26th of this year, Your Honor, approximately 9:22 p.m. The Highway Patrol received information about a 3-unit collision on Paris Bridge Road and near Davis Road in Spartanburg County. Trooper Brown responded to the scene, Your Honor. When they arrived there, Your Honor, they found a 2007 Honda sedan being operated by Erica Soulsby, Your Honor, along with the passenger, Alex Harris, Your Honor, was traveling north from Paris Bridge Road. A 2001 Honda sedan operated by Mr. William Watson, Your Honor, was traveling south on Paris Bridge Road. A third vehicle driven by the defendant, Jamells Floyd, Your Honor, was a 2004 GM pickup, Your Honor. He was also traveling south on Paris Bridge Road. Through their investigation, they revealed that Mr. Floyd then traveled right of center, striking the left of Mr. Watson's unit, and then hitting, actually hit Ms. Soulsby heads on first, then went over and hit the left side of Mr. Watson's unit, Your Honor. Ms. Soulsby, unfortunately, was pronounced deceased at the scene, Your Honor. Ms. Harris was transferred to Farmer Regional Medical Center as part of the trauma patient. Luckily, at this point, they haven't shown any serious, she was injured, but not seriously. They're going to do additional investigation just to make sure of that, Your Honor. Mr. Floyd was transported to Farmer Regional for a broken ankle, Your Honor. The Highway Patrol responded to Farmer Regional, Your Honor, determined he was under the influence, Your Honor. A search warrant was obtained. Samples was taken, will be sent for SLED for testing, Your Honor. In this case, he has been charged with felony DUI with death in this case, Your Honor. His prior record in this case, Your Honor, in 1994, he was convicted of a drug offense, Your Honor. In 1997, he was convicted of possession with intent to distribute marijuana, Your Honor. 2001, driver suspension. In 2006, Your Honor, he was convicted of 2 counts of trafficking in this, and also possession with intent to distribute, third offense. He received a 15-year sentence at that time. That was in 2006, Your Honor. And he's also convicted of failure to stop at that time, was given a 1-year sentence, and also possession of marijuana. He was given a 1-year sentence with that too, Your Honor. He was released. He is still community supervision by the parole department, Your Honor. I've notified them about this to make sure they know about this violation in this case, Your Honor. Obviously, we feel like he's a danger to the community. We had asked for his bond to be denied at this point. I know there's several people who'd like to address the court at the appropriate time. And if you have any questions, I do want to share some pictures from the scene, Your Honor. Let me show those to you real quickly. The first one, Your Honor, I'll share with you is the victim's car. In this case, it was driven by Ms. Soulsby. Can you see it, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
And you see the severe damage that was done by this impact, Your Honor, in this case. I'm going to show you another picture showing the front of Ms. Soulsby's car.
I didn't.
Can you see that, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. And the last picture will be the picture of the defendant's pickup truck. And I'll share this with you. Can you see that, Your Honor?
I can.
You can see the debris and everything from the collision that occurred. Your Honor, there's no question this defendant was at fault in this wreck. No question he's responsible for the death of this young woman and for this accident occurring from that standpoint. We have not received the results from SLED yet. Once I receive those, we'll know more information. But this time, based off the troopers' observations and everything they saw at Spartanburg Regional, we feel a felony DUI death was very appropriate in this case. And based off his prior record and of course his actions, he is a danger to the community.
Okay.
I know the victims, I know Mr. Soulsby likes to address the court, Your Honor, as well as Alexa Harris. They're both together on the Callie Crosby screen, if you see them.
All right. Mr. Soulsby?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the court. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I just wanted you to know this was my baby girl. And she hadn't even got to start her life yet. And this guy, he just took it all away from me and her mama and her family. And I just think it's unsafe to let him back out. He don't deserve it. And he's a danger to the community.
Okay, Mr. Soulsby.
Please, Your Honor.
And
He
Your Honor, I
don't
think
need to get out.
I cannot fathom your loss, sir. My heart goes out to you.
and Your Honor, Alexa Harris is with him. She would like to escort. She was actually in the car with Miss Soulsby when this.
Yeah.
And I believe, Your Honor, both of them young ladies, they were going out to get a milkshake during this time.
Yes, sir. They were. They went to the cookout to get a milkshake after Thanksgiving dinner. And it was closed. So they were coming back home.
Ms.
And I know
Harris, do you
Ms.
wish
Harris
to
would like to
address,
escort.
sir? Ms. Harris, do you wish to address the court?
Yes, Your Honor. Your actions have changed my life forever. Thanksgiving is supposed to be a happy holiday, but from now on, everyone in Erica's family and me and my family will dread the holiday. I'm hurt physically, but nothing will compare to the hurt I'm experiencing emotionally and will continue to experience. You took the life of the person I love the most, my best friend. I had to watch her die right in front of me, and I've never felt so helpless in my life. That is one thing I wish for nobody to ever experience. I will never be the same again after witnessing my best friend take her last breath. I hope you realize what you have done and did to so many people who will never be the same again. We don't want this to happen to anybody else, so please deny the bond.
You know, I know Trooper Batson's there as well as Kimberly Cockrell. I don't know if they'd like to address the court or not.
I have kind of got the cart before the horse. I probably should have gone to the advocates first, but that was.
No problem. I know Ms. Cockrell would like to address the court. I think Trooper Batson, if he has anything to add about the facts, because he's actually.
Okay, Ms. Cockrell.
Your Honor, Kimberly Cockrell, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I would like to echo the sentiments of the victims in this case and request that bond be denied. Your Honor, clearly the individual has demonstrated a complete and utter disregard for the laws of our state. And unfortunately, it has now taken the life of a beautiful young woman and unfortunately impacted her family and injured her best friend and has now impacted her. So, Your Honor, on behalf of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, South Carolina, I would like for bond to be denied. Also, Grace Brown is on the call as well. She is the victim's advocate for the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Your Honor, if you would hear from her as well, we would appreciate it, as well as the trooper. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Solicitor Barnett.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Brown, would you?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you. Again, echoing what Kimberly just said, echoing what this family just shared with us. This defendant is clearly a danger to the community. based off of not only his history that Mr. Barnett laid out for you, but based on his deliberate decision to drive under the influence on Thanksgiving night and take this innocent young life from this family, from her best friend who's sitting right here in front of you. So not only did Erica's life get taken from her, but Alexis's life, as well as everyone who loved Erica's lives, are going to be affected from here on out, and they will never be the same. And so on behalf of the Highway Patrol, we are also requesting that bond is denied. If bond is not denied, then we are requesting GPS and scram monitoring, as well as a no contact order for both of these victims' families. So thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know if Trooper Batson had anything to add or not from that standpoint, but he is in the
The
courtroom.
only thing I want to add, Your Honor, this was a 35-mile-an-hour zone. We can tell by the pictures the damage that was caused, but it was a 35-mile-an-hour zone where this collision took place.
And repeat that. It was 35 zone. What was
It was
the
a
speed?
35-mile-an-hour posted zone, yes, sir.
Okay, and how fast was the estimate?
Just based on my knowledge of the wreck, I was there. We are still pulling speed analysis from the computer of the vehicle. But just on what I saw on the scene, based on my experience in accident reconstruction, it was north of 60, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make another note that where he passed this car and hit my daughter, it was a curve. So he shouldn't have been passing nobody anyway. And I heard that several cars he passed coming up through that road flying. So it was in a blind curve when he passed a car. It was not a passing zone.
Okay. I believe.
And Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
may I go to the preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll take care of that. We'll make sure the victims is notified by every hearing that occurs.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for listening to us, Your Honor.
Anybody have anything else to offer? Okay. Mr. Floyd, you understand what you're charged with, sir? Say again.
I said, yes, sir, I do.
You understand your rights?
Yeah, I do. And I know no apologies is gonna help, but I do apologize, and I was dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But
I'm gonna stop you, okay?
yes, sir.
Ms. Floyd, your bond is denied at the summary court level. Any consideration would have to come from the circuit court. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You need to get your, talk to your attorney. All right? Okay, we're through.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor.